I've heard little to nothing about the current drought.
I haven't heard much about it really, but I know that it's a big issue in our area and that something needs to be done about it, but I would like to learn more about it so I know how to help with the issue.
No, I haven't heard very much about the current drought. I know it's an issue, but it hasn't really been brought up in a school, in a classroom setting, or anything like that.
Just a little bit from my classes in high school, I knew that it was really devastating, and it came in a really unfortunate time in history where the Depression was going on, people were hungry, now suddenly their farms are destroyed.
I learned about the Dust Bowl a lot in my English class, and that there was dust everywhere and it was like practically pitch black, and that it was hard to eat, dust was in your food, farmers couldn't work, and it was a really difficult time period for most people.
Well, we covered it in both my English class and my history class. In my junior year of study, I read the Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, which covered a lot about the Dust Bowl and how it affected the people living there and the Okies that moved to California.
Not me personally, because I didn't even learn about it till last year, but in the long run it has affected me in that it's changed farming and technology.
I don't really think it affects me personally throughout my day-to-day life, but I think it more affects like a society.
The Dust Bowl issue, I don't think so, because I've never lived in the Midwest, and I never have, and it's also been years since it's happened, and I've never been in an agricultural family. I mean, I'm very aware. My family personally, we recycle. We do coastal cleanups at least, every 3 months with my mom's search and rescue group, and I think we're just very aware of keeping our own trash down to a minimum.
Last year I took part in our club here at the school for environmental awareness. So, it's a pretty big part of my life. I try to ride my bike, places and recycle and all that stuff. But I mean, as far as above and beyond what most people do, I think I'm not like that.
Well, me being in the history club at Santa Rosa High, we talk a lot about current issues and local issues in the area, and I'm very interested in knowing what's going on in the world around me. Yes, I've taken action on an issue that's important to me, such as doing a run, a race to benefit for the Marine Mammal Center in Sausalito to run for the seals, and I've helped clean up at the Maria Carrillo Adobe, the first building in Santa Rosa, to help preserve it.
There's a local creek in downtown Santa Rosa Creek. It's filled with a lot of trash. There's a nice bike path that runs along it, and I'm a pretty big cyclist. I go on a lot of bike rides, and it's just discouraging to see all that trash in such a pretty area. So the third week of every month, there's a local cleanup there, so I've been going to those pretty regularly.
Environmentally, yes, I would have to say the cleanups that we do at the coast. We collect tons of trash every time we go, at least 3 bags worth, which is a lot, and it could affect not only the sea animals, but also the people. I didn't know that it was also man-made as well as just kind of naturally a strange occurrence. It was like both the forces working together. That was kind of surprising because I thought it was all up to nature.
I didn't realize how widespread the Dust Bowl was. I thought it was more focused in Oklahoma, but it was Kansas, it was Texas, it was even parts of California where the people moved to after their homes got destroyed. So yeah, I learned that it wasn't just like one state of the country, it was really a whole national issue that was being affected by it.
I think what had the greatest impact beyond just the Dust Bowl was the conversation about the local environmental issues. And I think that came to a surprise to a lot of them that this actually had occurred. And so the panel discussion about that actually garnered a lot of discussion.
It was just astonishing for me to see like actual pictures of the people like really suffering from this dust, like the mother sweeping out the dust from her house and the little kid like choking over the dust almost, and just how many people died and how many people got sick from the dust. You know, all of that just is really like personal.
What impacted me most was like how many animals died from it and how many people died, and how they would like make a big ditch and drive all the cattle into it and then shoot them. And then there was like a big excess of jackrabbits, and they were like swinging around and killing them. And I feel really close to animals in the environment, so that stuck with me.
I don't particularly know what I could do to prevent it, but I think it educated me more about agriculture and what it's about, and like the kind of troubles and big like walls that it hit in the past. Because I mean, we as humans did the whole hunter-gathering thing, and it's like, you know, we mess up, we fall down, we get back up, we learn from our mistakes.
The most important thing that I took away is just like being awareness, spreading education, educating people about the topic. Like we had the panel, like I know I didn't know about the nuclear reactors in Bodega, and it's good to keep like informing people about what's going on and how the outcomes of what's going on and how it can affect us long term. So I think, yeah, it's just about educating people.
I guess it makes me want to be more active when it comes to local politics, especially when it comes to the environment. And it just makes you more aware of what's going on in your local community, instead of like always thinking on a broad scale of like global warming. It's like, what can we do at home to fix this problem?
I'm more conscientious now about my actions and about the environment locally, and how I should help the environment and inform other people on how to help the environment.
I'm not originally from this area, but once I came, it was kind of interesting with the local politics how big it was once I moved to the area, and how there's a lot of protests going on in Sebastopol, especially for it. And it was actually pretty cool how people were really standing up and kind of taking their land back and saying like, hey, no, this is not okay. This is bad, danger, red zone.
Prior to that day, I did not know about the nuclear power plant, and so it was interesting to learn about it. And I think it's good that it's not there, and that we stood up to PG&E.
Now we're dealing with things like monoculture, that is having simply one crop dominate in our area. We used to be an area with many different types of agricultural products. Now we really have wine grapes. And so a big worry, of course, is what happens if we have some sort of a disease or something that comes through and wipes out, or seriously inflicts damage to that wine grape harvest. It could be devastating for Sonoma County.
I thought it was a really great opportunity, and it's kind of fun to do it at school with other peers and other adults, just learning together as a whole, and even being connected to the other high schools across the nation and the people online viewing the panel, just getting to experience this in a different way, and actually seeing Ken Burns himself talk about the whole documentary. It was cool. It was really interactive.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, beats like sitting in a classroom and just talking about it. To have, Ken Burns come and show us a film about it, and have a person sitting next to him that experienced it, and to be involved, to feel like you're involved, you're like a part of this webcam that's broadcasted throughout the whole country. It's one thing that's kind of happening here, so that's cool.